You're watching BCTV. We're all about Branford. You're watching BCTV, Branford Government Television, a service of Branford Community Television. This program is brought to you in part through the support of the town of Branford.
Just to order, this is February 11th, and the time is, time is
Hey, how you?
5:35. And first of all, call to order. Second, I'd like to have approval of the minutes for January 14th.
Recommend approval of the minutes.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Report of the chief.
Okay, so for time considerations, I believe that Commissioner Goodwin needs to leave early so that we gonna adjust the agenda a little bit to look at the actionable items. So I'm going to move down to item C, which is the budget. Everybody was provided a copy of the budget. If you want me to go through the budget, I'll go through it. If not, I'd like a motion to approve the budget with the, there's just one or two line items that might need some minor adjusting. Would give me the latitude to make those adjustments.
I move to approve the budget.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So I'm going to move to number 3 under C, which is the transfer request. I'm looking to transfer funds from 700 accounts to the furniture replacement account. You can see $1,289 out of the UPS upgrade, 971 out of electrical upgrades, 680 out of MDTs.
What does that stand for?
Mobile data terminal.
Okay.
1625 out of LPR, which is license plate reader.
Okay.
$64 out of video recording, and $841.34 out of laser speed units, for a total of $5,470.34 to be moved into the furniture replacement account.
Now, what branch has been replaced?
We have furniture downstairs in the roll call room. The chairs are falling apart. Those need to be replaced. This isn't going to cover everything that we need. Some of the secretaries' desks, they can't even open up the drawers. They're so old. There's desks in the detective division that need to be replaced. I think we got those as hand-me-downs from Eklund when Eklund went out of business. Just basic furniture.
I move that we approve the transfer request.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. What else is actionable?
How about, can we go to traffic?
You really jumped around. I have no objections as long as...
I have no objection.
Because we do need to approve that stuff. So.
Yes, you do. 5 items. First one, stop signs at Brockett's Point and Rustic Roads. The town engineer looked at it, the chief and I looked at it. The recommendation is that we put a stop sign on Brockett's Point where it meets Rustic Road and Brockett's Point. It'll be if you're approaching this intersection from the east going west.
So we met in committee and decided to approve this. So I'd like to make a motion to approve it.
Second. All in favor?
Second item, request for a 25-mile-an-hour speed sign on Beach Street. Beach Street is a short street off of East Main Street, heading toward the high school. Once you get past Chestnut Street, it's the first street on the left. The chief and I looked at it. How people could be speeding on that road, we don't know. Committee recommends no action. It's
Okay,
too
we don't
short.
have to do anything there.
We don't have to do anything. Third item, request of the state to approve 2 25-mile-an-hour speed limit signs in the vicinity of Cherry and North Harbor Street on Main Street. Presently, there is a 35-mile-an-hour sign if you're coming from the town heading to New Haven. in the vicinity of the entrance to Rickland's parking area there. If you go back toward town, on the other side of the street, there's a 25-mile-an-hour sign up near the Elm Cafe. We'd like to see it all 25 with a 25-mile-an-hour sign back in the vicinity of the nursery flower shop that's across from Rickland's and in the Rickland area.
Again, we met in committee, we approved it. I'd like to make a motion to approve it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Fourth request started out as a request for signage for a crosswalk on Damascus Road near Patrick Lane, which is near the middle school. It was investigated. They have signs that aren't even a year old. As you may know, the traffic pattern coming out of the middle school will change when the middle school addition renovation is completed. The only recommendation we could make, because there's plenty of signage, there's overhead lighting, is that we use reflective paint on the existing crosswalk when the weather gets a little warmer to hopefully show the crosswalk better at night.
Peter, where else is there reflective paint? Have I seen reflective paint anywhere?
If you have, we haven't requested it, so I've seen it. Usually, I don't think it's so much painted on. I think they put those, I've seen it on the tape that they put down, the mastic that they put down. That seems to be impregnated with, like sand, reflective sand, and that does a better job of displaying the crosswalk.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. And the final request is for a request for a crosswalk with proper signage, and we'll also have that ADA compliant ramps on Maple Street at the intersection of Reynolds Avenue, which is the road to the south, and Reynolds Lane, which is the road to the north. At that intersection, it would be, if you were coming from the intersection of Harbor Street and Maple, the crosswalk would be on that side of that intersection, on the east side of the intersection with Reynolds.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Also, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
We didn't do the whole thing for the number 2, I don't think, so I'd like to just make a motion to approve the whole traffic report. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Sure.
Yeah.
Fine. Done.
Okay, am I back on?
Yep.
All right, so we'll start from the top, I guess. ComStat report. During the past month, we issued 418 motor vehicle violations. 28 were for cell phone or distracted drivers.
This is going to be a record meeting.
I'm trying. Okay, so on pages 2 and 3, you can see the A Squad, which is our midnight shift. You can see the statistics. Their calls for service have decreased from 439 to 334. And you can see the rest of the statistics as far as the cases that they went to. It's been really slow, possibly because of the cold weather. The next page, page 4, you can see the officers' statistics in regard to arrests and citations. And the A Squad continues the initiatives of radar for those speeding problems that we're having in town. You can see that 18 tickets were issued during this period, 58 traffic stops, 3 criminal arrests, and 34 traffic assignments in 172 target areas. They're continuing to conduct traffic and radar at major arteries, target areas, businesses, and the plazas on Route 1. A Squad officers went over tactics in regard to active shooter situations. Moving on to our day shift. They also had a decrease in calls for service from 576 to 490. And on page 9, you can see their statistics as far as arrests, motor vehicle stops, and radar. Page 10 has our traffic statistics and cases of significance. There was a theft of an auto from Northeast Industrial Road, a 2003 Dodge Ram with a snowplow on it and a sander device on the back. Again, we continue to be plagued with these attempted thefts from auto. We had one on Bishop Road. Another one occurred in the Branhaven Plaza and Short Beach Road. We had a couple thefts of gutters. St. Teresa's Church as well as First Congregational Church. They have copper gutters that were stolen, I'm assuming.
All of that going on.
But yeah, metal thefts. The clubhouse at Sliney Field was broken into, or attempted to be broken into, but it doesn't appear that they got in it. We had 7 shopliftings over the last period. You can see where they occurred. Kohl's, Karen's Corner, Big Y, Chucky's Mobile, Stop and Shop, and T-Mobile on West Main Street. Again, we're focusing on traffic enforcement, 26 stops with 11 citations, radar assignments, and as well as you can see the areas that they focused on. Pine Orchard area, there's nothing of significance that happened in Pine Orchard the last period. Our 4 to 12 shift, page 19, you can see the statistics. They went down on calls for service also from 639 to 558. You can see that motor vehicle accidents also went down significantly. Again, they were covering a couple thefts from autos. They had a Husqvarna chainsaw stolen from the back of a work truck on Mill Plain Road. Crouch Road, they had a vehicle that was entered into, and they stole a space heater. In Ozark Trail, a flashlight was stolen out of an unlocked parked car at Waverly
Say
Park
that
Road.
10 times fast.
That's easy. That's easy for you to say. Absolutely. Criminal mischief on Brushy Plains Road. Front window was smashed out. Possibly attempted burglary. We had a theft from Asagio's restaurant, an internal theft. We had an arrest up at Walmart, I believe it was. Yes, where Officer O'Connor arrested somebody for possession of crack cocaine and drug paraphernalia. The person had a warrant for him, so that the drug arrest was subsequent to the warrant. We'll move on to the Short Beach neighborhood. Page 26. Short Beach calls for service also went down, and really there's nothing of significance that happened in that area. They only had two car crashes. The detective division has solved a couple burglaries that took place through interviews after a subsequent arrest. Arrest warrants are pending in that particular case. Okay, so the detective division also made a subsequent arrest in regard to the motor vehicle crash that happened out on East Main Street, where the woman was struck on a bicycle. They arrested a second person on that.
They've been busy.
Yeah, they've been making some good cases, actually. So our crime stats, year-to-date, our Part 1 crimes are up. It looks like it's up considerable, but it's just such a short period of time so that the numbers are really not skewed. I mean, they are skewed a little bit. Quality of life issues are down. Page 32 just reflects the numbers in a chart form. Page 35, current period, we had 4 auto thefts, 6 year-to-date. We've had a dramatic increase due to low number of theft, no unusual. So the numbers the percentages look high, but it's just because the numbers, the N is small, if you will. On page 36, you can see the breakdown of theft from auto. We had 12 during the last reporting period. Year to date, we have 15. Vandalism is up. We had 8 last period. Year to date is 8. Page 38, you can see the shoplifting. This is just a visual form of what I reported earlier.
The Kohl's and Walmart are still neck and neck.
Yeah. School checks on page 39. You can see that we continue to go through school checks, and the last page is just a hotspot of our motor vehicle crashes. So that's the ComStat report. Over the last couple of months or so, the state requirement requires that all police departments become accredited, so it's called CLESP, Connecticut Law Enforcement Standardization Process. So we just went through the state accreditation process, and we are now state accredited. I think sometime in the future I'd like to see Branford going back to the CALIA accreditation, which is the international accreditation, which it just puts you on the right track for best policies and best standards. So I think it's a good thing.
Expensive though, right?
I think the initial go through is expensive, but year after, it's not that expensive. It's only a couple $1,000s a year after that. So the other issue that we've been having a problem really since the building has opened up with water in our basement. They've tried numerous attempts to try to resolve the issues. We've had the tiles replaced down there. At one point in time, they painted the floors with some sort of a sealant that is supposed to doesn't let the water out. But none of it is working at this point in time. So we've reached out to a couple businesses that specialize in this, and we're trying to get a price to see how much it would cost for them to actually do an analysis.
What do you think the price is going to be?
I don't know.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, the price of that doesn't come out of our budget anyway. This is, we don't...
It's GGB. We're
working with them to get that done. So
yeah, exactly. But
right.
What it does is the moisture level is so high downstairs in the basement, it's creating a mold issue.
Yeah.
So we just had the HVAC cleaned out, but hopefully...
Who's down in the basement?
The cellar dwellers are down there.
No, I mean, are there sinus problems? Are there?
Well, yeah.
Everybody's down there.
Yeah. All our patrolmen are down there in the roll call room, and the locker rooms are down there.
The jail's down there.
The jail's down there, yeah.
So that's something we should fix,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm just bringing.
He's just making us.
I'm just making you aware that that they've tried numerous things to try to resolve the problem, but it's just not working.
I was down there the other day with the chief and the deputy chief. I was here for something else, but it's pretty bad. I mean, it's not getting better, so that's something they got to look at. You guys, I'm gonna take my leave.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night.
Hope you feel better, Tom.
Thank you.
So you have 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, I just realized that I passed over something that I'm going to ask
We
for.
need to? Okay.
for a vote for. So the police department received a donation of $7,278.09 from an estate of somebody that experienced the police department, that we responded to a call to her house. But I'd like to, there's no restrictions on the use of the money. What the thought process on this is because of our gym equipment downstairs is old, it needs to be replaced. With the permission of the board, I'd like to use that money towards replacing workout equipment for the men and women of the police department.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Question, can that doesn't have to go to the general fund?
No.
No, it's a specific request.
And part of that, we will have a plaque made in
Good.
in the name of the person that donated the money. Okay, so that's the last actionable thing, so,
Chief, what about the virtual agreement too?
okay, you're right. All right, see, I'm glad you came.
When doesn't she?
So, a couple weeks ago, Commissioners Goodwin, Hubert, and Susalis came with me to observe the Virtua firearm simulator. What did I say, Guilford?
No, Milford.
Milford?
Yeah.
Okay. So they were able to see it firsthand, and what I'm asking for is that we use the federal asset forfeiture funds to get into the Virtua simulator group. So it's $10,000 for the initial getting into the program.
My view of it, the budget guy, is that this is a great
Good.
product, and we will get it back in spades, and that we should do it. So I'd like to hear a motion.
Okay.
I would second that.
Yeah, he's the trustee of that anyway. He really doesn't need board approval. Do you?
Yeah, I
It's
do.
nice to have-
He does.
I do.
He
Anything
does.
over $1,500, I have to get approval.
He's got to get
from the board.
approval.
Okay, I stand corrected.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Bye.
See, and I got you out at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, great job. Thank you.
All right, so the last
Appreciate
thing I have on the agenda is personnel. I had one person out on injury who is now returned to full duty, and we received the resignation of Officer Zajura, who his last day was on February 6th. So,
Okay.
And for the record, I'm going to be retiring March 12th from practice of law. So I'll be in town more often.
all right.
Still a lawyer, and
Well, congratulations.
so
Congratulations.
please get me on the end.
Absolutely.
Just before we adjourn, I have one item. As you know, Branford Police Department has been very, very supportive of Special Olympics, and it came out in today's patch
right.
that the Branford Police Department raised the most money of any town in the state,
No kidding.
and over $40,000.
Not only this year, I think that they've
Every year they've done- yeah,
they've
they-
raised the most
Collectively.
since they've been doing it, so.
Yep. And it's
Right,
pretty amazing.
it certainly is, they do a
And they're
great
wearing
job.
And Lenny's-
guns, has nothing to do with it, right?
Exactly, no, there's no coercion at all.
And Lenny's, the restaurant down in Indian Neck that we all know, has been very supportive of this effort. They have the tip of
Yes,
there and
tip
everything.
of
So
cup.
it's nice to see some good publicity.
All right, so that's
Don't
my
blame the
report.
cop, he's just the mailman.
Okay. Call to adjourn? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This program was brought to you in part through the support of the Town of Branford. Watch town meetings and other videos on demand at BranfordTV.org.